It's like a candlelit dinner.
Wait, Kiwi. We're live!
Hey!
There it is.
There you go.
Why'd you put the carburetor over there?
Because it's on fire.
So, bring it back over here. People like burning carburetors.
Well, it's a new take on candles, I guess. Like, you know.
I mean, every YouTuber has to have a burning carburetor someplace in their thing. You know,
I wasn't aware.
Yeah. They all try to start their cars and it goes boom like
well,
that.
yeah, I've had a few flames at the carburetor.
It's going out.
It's going out.
Got to throw some more gas in there.
Pour some candle wax in there.
Wait, let me get the can.
Sure, Kathy's got candles somewhere, isn't she?
Kathy's so used to that. Please,
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
We'll put that over there near the wood pile.
Okay, so Nick Bruni, Eric Jovan, Mexican Spec. What's happening, brother, man?
Bud.
Mark Suave, Joe Balls, Bill McKaiska.
Nick Bruni.
Welcome in, everybody, to our this is our post-Christmas,
post-Christmas
New Year's
bash
extravaganza question. And if you stump,
getting the screen a little bit.
If you stump Kiwi tonight, you get a free vacation.
Yes.
All expenses
paid. The destination is to be determined.
Yes, and I'll be the judge.
Right. Okay.
I'll be the judge. So stump Kiwi, win a free vacation. All expenses paid, food,
everything. There's going to be some
wardrobe because you don't want to go someplace and
not given away tonight. I can tell you, it's not that hard to stump me, really.
Yeah, it's true. But I'm the judge. I'm the judge.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, all right. So, what is going on? Is the carburetor like a campfire? Yeah. We're actually going to sing Kumbaya, right?
It's a mood thing. Oh, it's gone out now.
Yeah, it's just smoldering now. Yes, Grumpy. That is an EV carburetor. Exactly.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Kiwi is a Ford man. Yes, I am. Well, I'm a bit of everything, but you know. Fubar, got the link.
Fubar, what's happening, Fubar? So, guys, so this Sunday night, which is New Year's Eve, we're gonna have a live. You're gonna be on it, right?
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna have we're gonna get together with all of our mods. We'll have an online New Year's Eve party. Guys, just consensus. What do you figure? We go on a little bit later than usual. We go on maybe at about 9 o'clock. And then this way we can just like go roll through all of the New Year's as they happen. I mean, I'll stay on all night. I'm easy.
Yeah. Terrence Seymour. Yeah, I did a couple of episodes of American Pickers. I guest spotted on there like a couple of times. Working on that truck of his. So yeah, but that was a while ago now, as you say, 2015.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, Chris Cadman, Kiwi. What is my middle name? I have no idea what your middle name is.
He stumped you.
He stumped.
Where are we sending him, Kiwi? He won already.
To the very back corner of his backyard.
That's not a vacation.
Well, it depends.
You're not going to send him to Vegas?
Who you're married to, doesn't it? Really, it might be a vacation.
I figured it would be something, exotic.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Yeah, send him to like that raft you guys come from, or something like that. Justin Carousel, I'm converting my 302 to HEI from the DuraSpark to. Any advice? What's the matter with the DuraSpark? It's a good ignition. Not the later one. Was it the TFI? The thin film mod TFI. That sucked. But the earlier DuraSpark was good.
Yeah, the HEI, those cheap Chinese.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're getting a cheap Chinese HEI.
Are not good. I'd go with MSD.
I would go with the original pieces.
Well, yeah. Now somebody asked if I'd ever owned a Pinto. No, I've never owned a Pinto.
Really?
Yeah, not a lot of those around in New Zealand.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
You got to remember, I've only been here a little while, really, in the scheme of things.
Tyler Rafferty, carb is not getting fuel after a week of sitting. That's totally normal. That's today's gasoline. I've done videos about this. The old gas was formulated so that it didn't evaporate, right? Because all of the fuel systems back in the day, the carbureted fuel systems, the tank was vented to the atmosphere, the carburetor was vented to the atmosphere. So they used to formulate gas so that it wouldn't evaporate. And that's why it would reduce down to that gum, that sludge. Now today, they don't formulate gasoline the same way. So what happens is after a week or so, it evaporates. And you just got to crank, or put an electric primer in there. Put a small electric fuel pump with a primer so you can start it that way and you won't have any problem. But it's what you're going through is totally normal. It's just the way fuels are formulated today. Daniel Sizemore, early Duraspark had ground issues. Not that I'm aware of. The early EEC systems had ground issues. That was a fun one. Do you remember that? Did you ever run into that?
No.
They had a pigtail connector. This was so common. This was like middle 1980s, right? Middle 1980s when they first started with the EEC 4, was it? So on all of these cars, it was like a universal thing with Fords. There was a pigtail, right? A ground for the computer, and it was always next to the battery.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened is after a few years, the battery would start to deteriorate.
Mm-hmm.
It would start to, like
get a bit of acid coming out of it.
A little bit of acid, like the acid vapor, and it would dirty that ground.
Oh, that would be the good night nurse.
Shut the car right off.
Yeah.
Is anybody else familiar with what I'm talking about? That was the most common thing. I used to get people, Ford no starts coming to me all the time, and it was either the thing in the trunk. They used to put a shutoff switch, an inertia switch for the fuel pump, or the ground for the EEC that was behind the battery. That was the most common thing. Once a week, I had that back in like the late 80s.
So Justin Carousel, he was just watching that video that we did on that Pertronics distributor. But every time the vacuum advanced, it would shut it down and then it would start again. Right. It was revving and then turning off, revving, turning off. But the fix for that was we replaced the whole unit. I think it was under warranty. From memory, it was a while ago now. I think we replaced it under warranty. That was, things fail. That was, just replaced it and that fixed it. I think it was probably had an issue before it even went in the car, I suspect.
Timothy, I need to change my name, but guys, Kiwi's Dude Delta 98 was just awesome. Isn't that a beautiful car? It's huge, boy. I love that. Yep, me too. I first time I saw that car, I was like, oh, that is just badass. I still want to take a cruising for Nashville. You got to take that car and just roll up and down Broadway.
We're doing
and
that.
with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this off.
But that that Oldsmobile is not like it's perfect underneath. There's just no rust in it. It's like I don't know where that thing lived all its life, but
the taillight
solid as a rock.
The taillight lenses deserve their own video. I'm telling you, it's so beautiful. I got to tilt this up just a little bit. Oh, there we go. See how much more centered we are?
Well, yes.
Okay.
KJ Kylie, any interesting stories on Lucas Electronics? Oh, well, they're just tales of distress and woe, really, rather than interesting.
Distress and woe.
Just Lucas Electronics were just terrible.
The Prince of Darkness.
Terrible, yeah. So I'd like to share a funny story with you, but I don't know, it was never a laughing time when Lucas Electronics were involved.
No. Numbnuts, I used to love inertia switches and Fords, and kids with their subwoofers made towing jobs easy. Let's see. Drew's Car Care, Holatoni, and Man from Down Under. So did they consider New Zealand Down Under?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was just an Australian thing.
Well, it is. It is. I think that's where it kind of became popularized, was that song.
I would think from New Zealand would be like over to the left.
Well, it's actually lower than Australia. So
you're under down.
It's more under. Yeah.
Below under.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because this sub-level of under.
Yeah. It's the bottom of the South Island there's only one place that's further south before you actually...
Antarctica.
Yeah. Well, no, there's one other. The bottom of South America, I think, is slightly lower.
Okay.
The very one of the bottom islands is slightly lower, something like that. But it's pretty low. Kiwi, have you owned a Volkswagen Combi? Thankfully, no. Although, I wouldn't mind owning one of those 23 window things that go for like 6 figures now. That'd be all right. But no, I've driven them, and that is the key reason I've never owned one. They were just horrible to drive. Just horrible to drive.
Chris Freemaster, lower than Australia, geographically or socially, ethically. Ethically, they're all cutthroat. Yeah.
Chris Cadman, Australia's toe. Oh man, what have I done to deserve this kind of love from you guys? Gee.
They've turned on you, bro.
Yeah,
That's it. The love is over. Now they've turned you to become vicious.
Where's is Tavo on tonight? Oh, there he is. Life raft. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now let's get started.
Here's a stumper for Kiwi. What is Uncle Tony's birthday? Oh, yeah, you got me. I don't know.
Yeah, another vacation.
Another vacation.
Another free vacation.
It's gonna be an expensive night, isn't
it? Bro, you better get ready.
Jeremy O'Shea. I missed my '68 Dodge A108. I had one of those that worked on a few years ago. The funniest thing with those forward control vans, that's what we call them, because you actually sat in front of the front wheels.
Yeah.
Is how close you can go to things. And I remember I had Barry we went for I think we went for like a video drive.
Right.
And like I'm swinging through the car park and missing stuff, but he's just like freaking out because he was, in his brain he still had another 6 feet of front fender in front of him. So we come like up to the workshop doors and stop like 2 feet away, and he's like, ah!
More than familiar, man. I drove a bump. Those were around all over the place. And I love the steering wheel position. It's it's like
a T-bucket sort of setup. Yeah, it's like a bus, Mexican speak, down under to the side. You are correct, sir.
Robert Magny. Evening, fellas. I have an electrical question. I'm installing a quick wire 22
circuit wiring kit in my 93 D150.
Let me get the next sentence.
Okay.
The wiring kit came with exciter wire for the external regulator.
The external I bought has
2 field wires.
The external regulator I bought has 2 field wires.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. Wait. Let's go back to this. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. His alternator has 2 field wires.
Yeah.
Right. Ground 1. Okay. Ground 1 of those 2 fields, and you'll be fine.
Ah, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Problem solved. Pulled the 13 poly and trans today. 440 is at the machine shop. There you go. What's the 440 going into, China? Hey Tony, Dodge Jeep steering death wobble. Seen like 25 videos. Everyone has a different fix. Your thoughts? Cause.
Okay, so actually, I have minor death wobble on one of my Jeeps, and the track bar is the bushing on the track bar is bad. I'm just lazy. I got to get around to changing it. Usually, the most common issue with that is the track bar. So any straight front axle is going to have a track bar. Okay, and that's to keep the axle centered in the car. So if the track bar has any wear, the axle is going to want to do this, and that'll induce death wobble. So that's the most common cause. But there are other causes too, like not enough caster. If you lift the Jeep, okay, and it's a very common thing. If you lift the Jeep, but you don't compensate for caster, then what happens is the wheels they don't want to center themselves. You have to have some caster, so at higher speeds, the wheel wants to stay centered. If you raise the Jeep, but you don't alter the geometry, you take all of the caster out, and now it becomes unstable. You hit a bump, and the thing goes like this. There's a bunch of different things that can cause death wobble. It's one of those. But if you've seen 25 videos, yeah, you're gonna have 25 different reasons for it. Yeah, I mean, a bad tie rod end, any bad joint in that system will give you death wobble.
I remember seeing what is your Jeep, a YJ? Is it? What is
XJs?
What?
XJs.
XJ.
3 XJs.
I saw an XJ get an A-frame behind a big motorhome.
Okay.
Down the interstate at like 70 mile an hour. It was death wobbling itself to death.
Could you imagine?
It was slamming from lock to lock.
Yeah.
To lock. And the whole vehicle was just shaking violent. I waved him down because like the front wheels were going to come off this thing.
Have you ever driven anything with death wobble?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah. It's violent.
Yeah. If you've never experienced death wobble like 70 miles an hour, you haven't lived. You know what I mean? You just haven't lived.
Does it cause any damage lapping the valve with a drill? I've seen people saying it should be handmade.
I've been lapping them with drills for 45 years. I've never ever had a problem. The valve, you think about what the valve guide goes through over the course of like 200, 300,000 miles and doesn't wear out. You think that spinning the valve in the guide is going to do any damage
Is
to it?
that what's supposed to be the problem? I was always taught to do it, like with the little, the oscillating movement.
Yeah, this thing, but why? Why? When you could just take the drill.
I know, I never got as far as asking why.
This is what I'm saying.
So yeah, so the potential problem is the valve stem and guide. Like,
What other interface is there? You think about it. You're cutting the seat,
yeah,
right? So the seat's going to cut no matter what you do.
yeah.
All right. Or you actually, well, yeah, you're grinding on the seat.
Hmm.
So the only interface is the stem and the guide. So the only potential damage would be to the stem and the guide.
It's just all you got to do is put a little bit of oil on it. Away you go.
Exactly. I usually squirt them now with WD-40 ahead of time.
Right. Chief Hutchins, if you've had a death wobble at 70, you might have ceased to live. Well, yes.
It will get your attention. It like seriously will get your attention. Dragpack Merc only experienced death wobble on a bike. Suzuki Grand Sport with worn out forks, no fun. Yeah, I've never had it on a bike. I've had it in Jeeps though.
Max, wow. Do you chuck the valve right into the drill? I suppose you could and pull it rather than push down on it.
Do you chuck the valve? Yes, I chucked the valve right into the drill.
Oh, yeah.
Ant D. I found the most common cause of death wobble is from lateral movements in the front. Well, yeah.
Panhard bar, yeah.
Yep. Blood Nose says, Blood Nose. It's death wobble at 88 miles an hour sends you back in time. It certainly feels like it.
Funny.
It's a thing. It's a thing because now she starts doing this, and there's no stopping it. Now I know, like on a motorcycle, because I have never had death wobble on a motorcycle. But I know that one of the ways out of death wobble on a motorcycle is to hit the gas. And I only know this because I've had friends who've experienced it and experienced it kind of regularly, and that's how they motor out of it. I've never had that experience. So because what happens is when you go into the death wobble, when you give it gas, it lightens up the front wheel and allows you to collect it back again. But you don't get that choice with that chance for the Jeep. So the only thing you can do is get over to the shoulder, get the thing slowed down and over to the shoulder.
Okay. Nestor's Garage, my life has a death wobble.
Well, you wouldn't be the only one. There's a lot of people who have death wobble.
And Zero's in the house. Hey, Zero.
Zero, what's happening, brother man? So you guys good with going on about 9 o'clock Sunday night? Zero Mexican Spec.
I saw a video about the ball stud Hemi, and they mentioned you, Uncle James.
Yes, I actually did. I wrote the original story on the Bull Stud Hemi for Mopar Action magazine. I did it with Dick Landy. This was in 1987, 1986, 1987. It was in the first issue of. Oh wait, hang on. I think I actually have it right here. Oddly enough, coincidence.
Glenn Nickerson, get the death wobble at 2:30 a.m. Oh dear. Scott Ormandy, hey, thanks for the plug, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I don't know why I have this magazine here. It's the only magazine, the only one of my old magazines I have, and I think this has it in it. Hang on. Oh no, okay. This one's got the. Let's see, what page is this? Page 20.
Braden Barnard, if I'm pulling plugs, should the engine be hot or cold? I usually wait till they're cold. Just because you don't burn yourself as much. Really, it's just a comfort thing. But I mean, if it's hot and you got to get them changed, you just change them.
I don't mean to This is a drag test I did on a Hemi Daytona back in 1988 or 1987. I don't know, 1980. Yeah, I hammered the hell out of a Hemi Daytona for Mopar Action magazine. But the This is us ripping into the Hemi in my driveway.
Buckham Garage. I'd love to see an episode on your history with the 50 Fox body. Look, that's another car I've never owned, and I've done a little bit of work on them, but not a great deal. So yeah, not a project car in the fleet at the moment.
So this is a story that I don't remember the details of. I thought this was the Bullstone Hemi. This was an A1 experimental Hemi that they built, and I don't remember the details of it. Actually, I would have to go back and read the article to remember what it was. There was some sort of NASCAR thing, and it was one of a kind. But the Bullstone Hemi, I did the first story of the Bullstone Hemi back in 1987, I think it was, with Dick Landy. And I don't remember if it was Mopar Action or if it was in High Performance Mopar. It was one of those two magazines.
PT Dave 2002, those classic flipper cars. I was a sucker 7 years ago. Complete resto, finally done. Wow, 7-year exercise. That's a long time to get what you pay for, isn't it, bud? Sorry to hear that. You're not the first, and you won't be the last to get burnt.
I mean, 7 years isn't really well. I mean, there's people go 17 years.
Well, true, yeah.
Oh,
you did an extensive 50 Fox body video a couple of years ago?
Did I?
That's what this guy's saying.
Oh, yeah, we did. I don't remember this stuff.
It's Alzheimer's. Tony needs a helicopter. You need a helicopter, apparently.
What do I need? What do I need a helicopter? Let's see. That person sometimes gets death wobble every day. We're not going to mention a name.
Yeah, he does. He does. What's a 318D? I have one. I don't know. What's a 318D?
Never heard of it.
No.
Jake, I'm glad I saw your video exposing flipper cars. I can spot them on Marketplace now. We've done a bunch of videos. We've done at least 5 or 6 of them on your channel.
The flipper cars.
Yeah, your place.
Yeah.
Now you keep them for yourself. You used to call me. He used to like text me, I got one, and I'd go running over there and like he'd always have, not anymore. No, now that he's got his channel, Kiwis, cream puff cannolis, catatonic cantaloupes, or whatever the hell it's called. Now that he's got his own channel going, he keeps that stuff for himself. No more for UT. No.
I kept it for me. Once.
But yes, we've done a lot of flippers.
A few of them.
Yes, and you just did one recently, right?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
That was a Mustang convertible.
Yeah, I don't watch your channel anymore out of spite. I'm not going to give you the view.
Okay.
I'll watch the first 29 seconds and then click right off so that you don't get the fucking view. And I give you the thumbs down on every video.
You're the one that keeps
putting
thumbs down.
As soon as I see your video comes out, I give it a thumbs down. That's why, if you've always got like 99.9 likes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the one that's downvoting your video.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
I click on it just long enough to hit the thumbs down, and then I'm out.
Kiwis, cathodes, and catamarans. Okay, that's a good one. What's this one? Raining Slant 6. Hey, Tony and Kiwi, have you seen the trailer for the new Furiosa Mad Max movie where there's a scene featuring a hopped-up 62 Valiant two-door ute
with motorcycles
in the back? I have not seen that. No. 62 Valiant. Wow. Oh, Tim Spore, you guys would probably hate me for this, where they put a 454 out of a Chevelle into a blown-up 70 Super Bee. It was the only engine we had laying around, and it was in a pinch. Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, there's worse things. You know what I'm saying? We live on a planet with a lot of really horrible stuff going on, so I'm not going to get my panties in a wad over that. Tyler McIntyre, what happens if I use leaded fuel in a non-leaded fuel car? Okay, in the old days, and you have to go back to like the 70s and like the early 80s, the GM pellet style catalytic converters that they use, in the day, right, would actually melt down if you added lead to it. So you run lead through the gasoline, right? Lead fuel. The lead would cause those converters to melt. And when I say they would melt, they were just solid nothing. Okay. They switched to the honeycomb style. And when they switched to the honeycomb style, you didn't have that effect of the lead melting down the catalyst inside the converter, but it does coat the catalyst and therefore renders it unusable. So those are the two possible outcomes of using leaded fuel in a catalytic converter car. Did I answer that good?
You did.
That was so straightforward, man.
You're just on it. You nailed it.
That was so straightforward.
What's your favorite YouTube channel?
Mine.
Yeah. Eric Uvan. Oh, your own channel?
My channel.
I don't really have a favorite channel. I mean, other than yours, of course.
Yes, of course. We have that in common.
Well, that's right. Yeah, one of the few things.
We both like my channel.
Yeah. I'd never put a dislike. I'd never hit the dislike button on your channel. Though. I would never do that.
I used to promote your channel all the time until you started, hoarding all of the flipper stuff, taking food out of my mouth. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you haven't even been over to. You haven't been over for a long time.
No, it's been a while.
The trash cans are overfilling. Like,
I haven't raided his trash cans in a while.
Yeah, I think it's all going to hell in a handbag. I tell you.
But now, okay, so take a break from this for 1 second now. Now you just bought. Tell the people what you just did.
Well, I mentioned it a few weeks ago, and Mexican Spec chimed in and gave me a bit of advice, which was cool. Bought a '59 Plymouth Suburban station wagon. So.
And what are you going to do with it?
Because I need more projects. That's why. Because I'm just I'm getting bored.
And you're going to.
We're going to fly to San Diego and we're going to drive it back. Me and Steve.
And how long has it been sitting?
A little while.
30 years?
That was last tagged in '79.
Oh, so that's almost 40 years.
Almost 40.
Oh, 35.
Yeah. 70, 80, yeah. No, more.
That's 45 years ago.
Yeah,
it's only been sitting for 45
years.
Yeah, so he's going to fly out to San Diego and is going to get this wagon that's been sitting for 45 years and drive it back to Tennessee.
Yes. Put a battery in it, put some fuel in it, start it. Go.
You're a much braver man. Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. It's crazy, but look, if we can actually pull it off, it'll be an adventure. So look out for that coming on YouTube. To a channel near you.
Well, Kiwi just put up a link there. Kiwi's content and content accessories. So now, perhaps Zero and Ari can meet you out there in California.
Yeah, well, we might catch up with them. Yeah, I don't know.
You may need a crew.
Well, yes, it's going to take more than an hour to get it running, I suspect.
So now, is the Hemi going to go in that?
Yeah, well, I've got to. That's kind of that's a distinct possibility. That would be a cool conversion, I think, to put the 392 Hemi in it that I've got. Just need to find someone who knows what they're doing to put it together.
That's hard.
Yeah, that's
hard. You can't find something. Who the hell knows anything about 392 Hemis?
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, someone here can make a suggestion.
I'm sure Mexican Spec.
We'll just post it down to Mexican Spec. They're not that heavy, are they? The Hemi? Nah.
Fubar just put the link to my merch. So if you want to buy this stuff, and what am I wearing today?
What are you wearing? It's not how fast you go. It's how you go fast.
Yeah, that's a classic old school shirt there.
You've been hugging on your dog again, haven't you?
I'm always covered with dog hair.
Jesus.
It keeps me warm.
Well,
it's like an extra layer of
Yeah.
You notice I've lost some weight. It looked pretty svelte, right?
Oh, very svelte.
Yeah. Don't look at me like that. Okay, I'm just saying. But I have lost.
You should stand up and give them a twirl. Like, look at that. He's half the man he used to be.
Seriously, come on. I've lost a bunch.
And you lost your chair as well.
I lost my chair too.
Okay. Kiwi's classification in coconuts. So who wants to watch his buddy put a 59 Plymouth or get a 59 Plymouth going and drive it back? What is it? It's 24, a full day and 9 hours or something like that. So it's like 31 hours or something.
Non-stop. That's if you motor right through.
Stop. Yeah. So it's a bit crazy, but I think Steve's a smart dude as well, so I think we can limp it home as long as nothing catastrophic happens.
Richard Stansby is. I got to jump in here real quick.
Yeah.
Is there a master interchange manual for American cars, 50s through 70s? Yes, there is, but I have no idea how you'd find one. There used to be every junkyard in the world used to have what they call the Hollander interchange manual, and it's like it's like a phone book, okay? And I think they publish it every several years to update it, and it had every interchange. So you went in looking for a blah blah for a blah blah. The guy at the junkyard could look it up in Hollanders and tell you yes, it'll interchange or no, it won't interchange. If you can find one of those books, man, there's like there's so much. So if you're into cars, okay, into these old cars, there's so much esoteric knowledge to be found in that book. It's almost, I mean, it's kind of like almost like the Kabbalah of like old car stuff. So the Hollander interchange manual is what you're looking for.
Tavo thinks it's a good idea. Terrence Seymour, send it, Kiwi. Yep. See,
why wouldn't he think it's a good idea? He lives 10,000 miles
he's
away.
in a different hemisphere.
He's in a completely different hemisphere. So of course it sounds like a good idea. To me, it sounds like batshit insanity, but that's just me.
But that's what makes good TV.
This is true. This is true.
And me, Mr. And me says, keep this up and you will be able to wear your Mopar two-piece bikini, Tony.
I'm two-piece. Yeah, I'm not that.
Yeah, are you sure it's not on under?
I don't think I have any
now?
stretch marks. Don't look at me like that.
Max, you're good, Tony. You didn't groan getting back up from picking your chair. That's true. Mexican spec, no merchandise, no.
No. He's a merch underachiever.
Oh, yeah.
But you could buy my merch and he could sign it, I guess.
I might get some T-shirts with a 59 Plymouth Suburban on it.
Why don't you just sell my merch?
Well, no, don't want to. Glenn Nicholson has a Hollander Exchange. Pulled it out of the trash.
Isn't that a great book?
Huh.
Bro, 318-4, does it have a 440 bottom end? No, there's no relation at all between the 318 and the 440. I mean, zero. Wait, let me think if there's any interchangeable parts between a, hang on, I got to think about this real quick. Go ahead, you answer the next question. I'm going to find something that's interchangeable between a big block and a small block Mopar.
Okay.
Oh, God, there has to be something. Lifters! The lifters are the same. There you go. And lifters are interchangeable between big block and small block, and that is the only part that's interchangeable.
Tony, I've got an old rocket motor in my basement, complete except the intake. Should I take it to a junkyard?
No. Why would you do that?
Put it up on like Facebook Marketplace or something. Someone probably needs that. Depending on what size it is and stuff. Oldsmobile rocket. That covered a few different motors.
Oh yeah, that was the generic. The earlier motors used to say rocket right on the valve covers.
Right.
And then later on, they took it off the valve covers and just put on a sticker on the air cleaner.
Kiwi, you aren't counting all the times you'll be stopped by the highway. Why would we be stopped by the highway patrol?
Nah.
You're just sneaking along in a thing blowing smoke and dropping parts and no lights, and they'll leave us alone. I'll just give them your number.
Let's see. Okay, Tony, you're taking advantage of any end-of-year tax write-offs. I cheat every possible way that I can.
Yeah, someone's complaining here that I'm not in the screen properly, so I have to get closer.
Don't get too close.
See, Tony gets all uncomfortable.
I get
we end
like
up
that.
3/4 out of frame now.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, I'm homo-paranoid. There's homophobic. I'm not homophobic at all. Well, I am homo-paranoid. Stop it, Kiwi!
Too easy.
It's bad enough you're always undressing me with your eyes. It's so freaking weird. Don't look at me. Okay.
Chris Cadman, picture Tony in those tiny 1970s shorts. Ooh.
Oh God, I haven't worn shorts since I was like 3. Kyle Teal, how do you move peak piston in the stroke of an engine?
I didn't know that was a thing. How do you peak height?
I have no idea. Try to ask that question a different way. Because I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not quite sure what you mean when you're saying peak. So
Tyler Rafferty, men don't wear shorts. You damn straight we don't.
can I ride off my '68 New Yorker? Okay.
I guess.
I guess you could. I'm not
Yes.
sure why you'd want to.
Is this the fastest Indian guy? He has the same accent.
Well,
Yeah. They're very similar in that respect.
same country, different island, but yeah. And he's quite a lot older than me, even though it may not appear that way, but trust me, he is.
Cabello Carburado, does it cause any damage lapping the valve with a drill? No, we talked about that like 10 minutes ago.
That's rotated around.
Yeah, it's fine. Just do it. The Imaginator, I'm in Tennessee. If anyone needs a 350 rocket engine with a nice crank to go with it. Okay, well, there you go. But don't fat finger it.
Peak piston speed.
Oh,
is what he's talking about.
Well, you do that through rod ratio.
Yeah, that's the only way you do that is a different rod ratio.
Right.
So, if you can move the pin up in the piston and put a longer rod in.
Yeah. Yeah. Or a shorter rod to okay, yeah, exactly right. So if you want to increase peak piston speed, you put a shorter rod. You want to decrease it, you put a longer rod. Or the stroke of the crankshaft. Either way. A short stroke crank. Well, okay, so there's not only peak speed, but there's also acceleration and deceleration rates, which affects flame front, which now you get into a whole, like, you know what I'm saying? So there's peak piston speed, but then you have to take acceleration and deceleration into account. And well, deceleration only, okay, so piston deceleration rate is very important with long burning fuels. So nitromethane is a perfect example of that. A piston with excessive deceleration will cause it to detonate at the bottom of the hole because of the length of the duration of burn, but it has no effect on the top side. All right, that's, bro. I just lost my whole train of thought. I want to.
I was reading. I wasn't even listening. I wasn't paying
I know
attention.
you weren't, because I was going off on a freaking rant.
Ryan Barclay, Uncle Tony, one of your previous live streams, you mentioned that you needed to make a trip to Michigan. Where in Michigan do you go?
Oh, I got to hook up with a friend of mine out there, and he wants to give me a tour of stuff. I don't really have a particular place in Michigan that I go.
Nestor's Garage, piston dwell at TDC. Yeah, well, too long a rod will give you too longer period of time at TDC. Like a long. You'd think going longer and longer in the rod would be advantageous because you don't have to get too much angle between your crank and your rod. But yeah, the drawback. Every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, and the reaction to that is it spends too much time at TDC.
The longer the rod, or the longer the rod ratio, the more dwell there is.
Yeah. Bill McKeisker, thanks for the super chat. Why was the Dodge Diamante never put into production, and how hard would it be to build a realistic clone of one?
Well, it was a show car, and the thing about show cars, the reason why show cars never make it to like production is because of just the simple manufacturing process. So when they design a show car, okay, they could put all sorts of angles and weirdnesses and curves and whatnot into the car that aren't practical for an assembly line use. You see what I'm saying? So you take something like the Dodge Dioria or any of these show cars that are very exotic looking. The reason those bodies don't make it to production is because they're not practical to stamp those panels. And you see what I'm saying? So everything, the production, the show cars are wild, and then the production versions of them are very more conventional.
Daniel Sizemore, can we give a shout out to his friend Lou Cecil? A shout out. There you go. Shout out to Lou. Tony, Tyler Rafferty, thanks for giving me the confidence to daily drive a classic car again. Just got a 68 Chrysler 440
Nice, congratulations.
in California. Ooh, gas is expensive over there.
Oh, that's such a nice driving
Yeah,
car.
it is a nice driving car. Good for you, man. Keep driving it. Keep driving it. You'll pass a few stranded burning EVs along the way, I'm sure.
Ken Stranahan, Tony, have you ever got to play with the straight six Australian? No, we've never even seen one out here.
Clean knickers, and from death wobble to valve lapping to mini shorts, no subject is taboo.
No, we cover it all. We cover it all. He likes to strut around in a thong. It's really disturbing. Okay, really disturbing. You don't walk into his shop, okay, and there he is, wearing a work jacket and stuff like that, and boots and a thong, and it's like, come on, Kiwi, pants, please, right? Every time. Very weird. Very, very weird, I gotta tell you.
Big Daddy Roth made the best show cars. They were pretty cool. Tony and Kiwi, were their pistons made of magnesium, pros and cons, or other alloys?
No, magnesium is too brittle to use. I mean, forget about the fact that it burns it burns.
Yeah.
Right? It's too brittle to use. Magnesium cracks really easy. You'd have to have a piston with just a solid chunk of magnesium.
Tony, do you have any old fuel altered stuff around?
Do I have any old fuel altered stuff around? In the bottom of my tool, so in my toolbox at the house, right? I have a toolbox that's just totally destroyed. Okay, like none of the drawers work. I've had this thing for I've had it for at least like 35, 40 years. And in the bottom of the toolbox, anytime, so I have my was a catch-all, the bottom drawer, and it won't even close anymore. It weighs like 300 pounds. It's just full of stuff. And anytime I got to go through there looking for a trinket or an odds and ends, I always find little bits left over from the nitro days, like Crower Glide fingers and half nuts that we would use for weights and stuff like that. The nozzle holders for the injectors. But no, I don't have anything substantial. Just crumbs.
Hemi Head 68. I was surprised to discover the other day that none of the GM's 455s are the same.
Nope.
None of the parts are interchangeable.
Zero.
No.
I don't know why they did that.
Basically, well, my understanding is just there was a lot of interdepartmental rivalry.
But why did they?
They wanted to call it their own. They wanted it to be their own car.
Okay, but so the Chevy had the 454.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why did the other three? Because they could have rounded them off, right?
Yeah.
They could have made like an Oldsmobile 452. You know what I'm saying? They could have changed it by like one number, but they didn't. And yeah, that was very confusing back in the day.
Yeah, and then like the Buick then started putting 455 on their air cleaners on a 425, but it was 455 foot-pounds of torque.
Right.
They'd put the torque numbers on the air cleaner, and everyone thought they had a 455 cubic inch nail head.
And then
no, they never made that.
Right, and then they went and made a 455.
Yeah, just to confuse the shit out of people. But I don't know, marketing, I guess.
Spitfire Mike, will early Dodge 315 poly and 325 poly engines have common parts? Yeah, everything except the pistons.
I think the early Buick 455s made the most horsepower. I'm not sure on that one, actually.
I don't know.
No. Tony, John Bishop saying, I have a mid-70s forklift with a slant 6. It's been rebuilt, but I need a new carburetor. It has a 2-barrel adapter. What would be the best carb to buy?
A BBD. Honestly, get one of them Chinese knockoff BBDs off of Amazon, like $80. Work right out of the box. Jackpack Merc is saying same logic as Ford producing a 427, 428, 429 simultaneously. I know that was another thing they did.
Yeah.
And not just one 429. They were like 3 different versions of the 429 all going at the same time.
Gabriel DeMarco, Kiwi, when welding body panels that overlap, is it best to coat the metal, pour POR15 before or after welding? You need to use a weld-through primer of some kind when you're overlapping. There's a lot of different variants of that. But you don't use POR 15 before welding because you won't be able to weld it. It'll make a hell of a mess of your welding because it burns and it pollutes the weld and it'll bubble and fizz up. And yeah, so use a weld through primer and then POR 15 once you're done. That would be my advice. Be aware though that POR 15 it's almost like a non-stick coating on a fry pan. Like nothing will stick to it. Like if you paint it with that, you have to really sand it quite aggressively to make anything stick to it. Like it's.
I didn't know that. I thought you just paint over it.
No, it's really
so
it's so impervious to anything. Like just nothing sticks to it.
So is that? I don't believe you just this comes up now. So is that why the whole chunk of Bondo in the C-pillar of my dart fell out?
That could well have something to do with it, yes.
Okay.
I learned that one the hard way. We had a Corvette come in and it had quite a bit of rust around the front windshield. And so we cleaned it all up. We welded up a little bit of it, ground it out, and put POR 15 on it, and glued the windshield back in with urethane. Now urethane sticks to about anything.
Okay.
Like really well.
But nothing sticks to it.
No, that's right. Once it's set up, no. Right. But as a bonding agent, it's tremendous. A tremendous glue, urethane.
So a couple of weeks ago, right? My slinger, the orange slinger.
Yeah.
Okay. So big chunk of Bondo fell out of the C-pillar because it's got a seam there, right? So I filled it was rusty, so I hit it with POR 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I let it set up, and then I bonded over that, and then I painted over that. Well, last week, a big chunk of it just fell out. It didn't stick to anything. And now I know why.
You know what?
Okay. This is why he gets paid the big bucks.
But, yeah, this Corvette that we had on, like, we had a new windshield put in it, like glued in with urethane. And about 4 months later, it got broken. So he was back, and the windshield guy came in and went to cut it out, and we basically just pulled it out. It just did not. It just peeled off the POR 15. It just did not stick. I was amazed. Like urethane sticks to about anything.
Mexican Spec saying I have looked for a BBD for my Savoy 1-barrel. It's not a BBD. It's a BBS. Yeah, BBD is 2-barrel. BBS is 1-barrel. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what top one. Not sure what you're talking about there, Tyler. Asbestos, cement, water pipes.
Yes, I think he's talking about all the different things that can kill you.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Been using POR 15 on mower decks. Own a mowing company. There you go. Yeah, I mean it'd be great for that.
Glenn Nickerson, my trick with POR 15, just as it tacks up. Just a guide coat primer, and you can top coat it with anything. I usually POR 15 my engines, and then urethane paint, bulletproof and leak proof. Interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Jeff Hutchins, I thought BVD was underwear. No, BBD. BBD. Ball and ball something.
BVD was underwear.
Oh, BBD is dual. Okay, so BBS is a single barrel carburetor, single Venturi. And then BBS is single, BBD is dual. So the 1-barrel carburetor is a BBS, and the 2-barrel carburetor is a BBD. Yes, Zero says BBD.
Brygon, are performance distributors any better than the old Mopar electronic that's been curved and limited?
I don't believe so, to be honest with you. I don't believe so. I like to use. I like to stick with as many factory parts as possible and just modify them to suit. But then again, see, one of the things I should try to stress, right, is that when I build something, right, for myself here,
right,
I'm not building anything for ultimate competition. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I understand, like yes, MSD units, and there are so many like very exotic, very sophisticated ignition systems and fuel systems on the market. I don't use them because I'm not in that world where I'm trying to find the last 100th the last thousandth. You know what I mean? Because I'm just building hot rods to play with myself, I stick with factory or close to factory parts wherever possible. So you have to make that distinction. What are you building for? You know what I'm saying? So if you ask me if something I'm building, yeah, I try to stick with as many stock parts as possible because they're simple, they're easy, they're cheap, they're flexible, and there's a lot of different aspects to them. So for me, for my purposes, a curved stock distributor suits them absolutely perfectly. But if you're competing, you know what I'm saying? And you need that little last bit of tunability, flexibility, whatever it happens to be, then yeah, you're talking about a whole different animal. Does that make sense?
It did.
Yes.
It did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you say something philosophical. Yeah.
I'd say Danny Boyd got away lightly, put his Mustang into some guy's front yard tonight and got
Nice.
stuck. Luckily, he was able to push it out with it in gear. I guess cranking on the starter motor with it in gear, something like that.
Nice.
And got it out. No damage that he can see, and no police. Yeah, that
Nice.
yeah.
Were you drunk or just blacked out or something?
Go and buy yourself a lotto ticket on that one. Big Hank, my neighbour claims his 1994 Escort wagon 1.9 auto. Oh, and factory installed tack. Good grief. Turns him on. Well, he's obviously easily excited, isn't he?
I can't fault the guy. I mean, he likes what he likes.
Yeah. I guess we hit the blue button, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris Cadman, I have a major problem. My big old dog just ate 3 of my beef burritos when I stepped out for a smoke. It's going to get ugly in my little room. Yeah, bro. Oh, shit. Yeah, listen, dogs can sleep outside, right? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's where they come from. They come from outside. He spends the night outside tonight. Danny Boyd said he couldn't see and overshot a driveway backing in, trying to turn around. Oh, okay. You could have made it a better story, bro.
Yeah, you're in like 4th gear.
Yeah.
On a 90 right.
Yeah, you're tripping on shrooms and you were trying to avoid the lizard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see what I mean? Like, you could have.
Buckham Garage, what's your favorite small block on Mopar and one other brand, and why?
What's what now?
Your favorite small block for a Mopar and one other brand, and why? So which small block Chrysler do you like?
My least favorite is the 360 because they never live up to the hype. 360s never make the power that they're supposed to, and I never really dwelled on that.
340 is the one to have, isn't it? Really?
The 340 is the one I have. The 340 is just the happy combination. I personally lean towards 318s because I like stuff that's disposable. You know what I mean? Like, you heard a 340. I have a 340 in my Roadrunner, in my 73 Roadrunner, but I don't really hammer on it. I like 318s because they're disposable. I can just trash one and throw it away and go get another one for like $50 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I prefer the 318 for that reason. Other make. I'm gonna have to say the small block Chevy. I love the Windsor Fords, but the small block Chevy, I've built more Chevys than I have Mopars. You know what I mean? Like, I know the small block Chevy like literally like the back of my hand. So I'm gonna say like my sentimental favorite would be just the small block, and out of that, the really small journal motors. I love 283s, 327s, all of the small block Chevys are just magic. And you?
Me, the 340 and the Mopar. It's exactly the same reasons as Tony. But for me, the other small block would be the Ford, like the 289, 302.
It's hard not to love those.
Yeah.
It's really,
yeah. For me, the 289 is very similar to the small block Chev 283. I mean, a completely different motor. They're not similar like to look at, but as far as how their longevity, you can just beat them to death. They just go and go and go. They weren't they weren't making too much horsepower. Just everything was just a good combination from the factory. And honestly, sometimes the factory just stumbled onto good combinations, which is like the 340 and the 360. Like Mopar, probably the same or similar designers designed them, but somehow the 340 is just better.
On those Windsor motors, like the 289s and the earlier 302s, the small ports, right? Because you look at them, right, and you say, man, that port is not going to support any type of power. Okay. But you think about it, those engines make incredible torque for their size.
Yeah.
And it's all because those ports are undersized. So you give up top end power with those things, but the bottom end and mid range is just astounding for what they are.
For a little 4.7 liter.
Yeah. Like the small block Ford, like the early small blocks are the absolute definition of why velocity matters. You know what I mean? Velocity, because that's what Ford engineers were all about with those cylinder heads. They were all about velocity, and it works. Look at the 302. Look at the 5 liter. Okay.
Yeah.
Tiny runners, tiny, long runners, but small diameter.
Yeah.
Right. And then the small ports and they just bottom the torque, gobs and gobs of torque.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're great engines.
Good. Yeah. Both all of them good engines. What do we got here now? Danny Boy, them dang water. What's he talking about? Water pump. Where's he going? Them dang water pump and timing cover bolts on a small block Ford. Yeah, they're a bit of a pain in the ass. So I'll give you that. That's fair. But nothing's perfect, is it? Maxwell. Got a stock bottom end 8.5 to 1 compression standard ball 350 in my drag car. Stuck a solid flat tappet cam, Dart, Iron Eagle heads, and an Edelbrock Scorpion intake. Runs 720 on the 8.
Yeah.
Not bad, is it?
It's a nice happy combination.
Yeah. Yep. Good combination. 8.5 to 1 compression. Not even. That's low compression engine, really, isn't it?
He's making up for it with breathing. He's just got a good combination of cam, intake, and compression is nice, but it's not the end of the world. It's 4%. Okay, so the formula that I remember is it's 4% per point. So the difference between, let's say, a 9 to 1 and a 10 to 1 engine is going to be 4% overall power increase or decrease, depending on which way you're going.
Which way you go, yeah.
So compression really isn't the beginning and the end of everything. Really, breathing is more important than compression.
You've got to get it in to compress it. Yep. Yeah, it's the first part of the equation. Yeah.
Well, you also have to, you got two things that work against you with compression. Because everybody talks about, compression is so great, and it is. I'm not knocking compression, okay, but you have to realize there are two things that work against compression, and that's the extra pumping losses. So you've got parasitic losses through the extra pumping. Remember, you've got one cylinder firing, and none of the others. You've got pumping losses through the higher compression in the other cylinders, and then there's extra heat. You know what I mean? Because the higher the compression, the more heat that there is that's not usable, right? That heat, that's the extra heat that's built in a higher compression from a higher compression engine, isn't transferred to fuel.
We missed a super chat apparently.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Jake be doing stuff.
Thank you, Jake.
Where could I find a quality big block Mopar points distributor?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Where could you find one?
A points distributor.
I don't know. I don't know. I have so many laying around here. I never have to go looking for them.
I wonder if Rock Autos would have something like that.
Yeah, check Rock Auto. I mean,
brand new distributor.
I don't know if you get a brand new one, but I'm sure you can get a reconditioned one.
Yeah, well, I was thinking Rock Autos for a new one, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Let me check here.
I had a brand new small block Mopar distributor, brand new in a box. Can't remember what I did with it, but yeah, try Rock Autos. Google, see what you can turn up. But they're probably out there. So was that the only super chat we missed? Yeah, looks like it. All right, there's a $10 super chat here somewhere we've missed.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm making some money today.
Yeah, $10.
Wait, for the distributor.
He's looking for the distributor for you, bud. So hang in there. Did water pump lubricant actually work? I used to use it religiously, but can no longer purchase it anymore. Well, I was understanding that the regular antifreeze or glycol acts as a lubricant for your water pump. That's what I've always been led to believe.
Cardone.
Cardone?
Yeah.
Oh, new distributors. Look at that.
Yeah.
Summit Racing.
Yeah. Well, they're showing an electronic one there.
Oh, electronic. Yeah,
Well, they're showing a picture of electronic, but yeah, evidently Cardone's got them. A1 Cardone.
there you go. So yeah, water pump lubricant. Isn't that really taken care of by your
Antifreeze.
antifreeze? Yeah. Yeah.
I used to religiously
Probably.
use it, but no one can no longer purchase anymore. No, I mean that's one of the things. The antifreeze. Antifreeze is a water pump lubricant. Um, have you ever felt antifreeze and how slick it feels? You know, it has the same effect on the water pump.
Tony smoking electric cigarettes.
Yes.
Would you ever go to electric cigarettes?
No, I would not go to electric cigarettes.
Scared of putting it in his pocket and burning your butt cheek off, wouldn't you?
Oh, geez, yeah, no, that happens.
Yeah, they do catch fire. Yeah.
Buckham Garage. So that being said about the 340, how different is the 360? Dad had 2 Little Red Express trucks. I got to drive one. Blah blah blah. Okay. There it is.
There it is.
I got to drive one through high school. Both had 360s. I've seen some quick 340s. I don't know exactly what it is about the 360. Again, see, it's something I never really put much thought to, and it's something I probably should at some point because 360s, they make good power. I'm not saying that the 360 is a bad engine, but you do the same exact things. Excuse me. You take a 340 and you take a 360. You treat them to exactly the same things, and the 340 will always outperform the 360. So, but I can't give you a specific reason why because I never really looked into it, but I will at some point.
John Skyver, have you guys messed with EPAS on manual steering Mustang? I haven't on the Mustang.
What is EPAS?
Electronic power assist.
Oh, jeez. Why would anybody do that?
And you put that basically in the column. So it turns your manual steering box or rack into a power. But yeah.
Is that something you really want to do, though? I mean,
a lot of cars have it. I mean, a lot of people would take them off like Saturn Views and various cars that had EPAS that are in the junkyards now, more commonly, and adapting them to various different hot rods. But
I had never.
For me, I prefer like on a Mustang. If you've got the Mustang 2 rack, well, the easiest solution is to get a power rack because it's less turns. It's a full turn less from lock to lock, and it's the same with the steering box. Now you can get the Borgeson power steering box if you've got the earlier generation Mustang, and you get really nice power steering, and it's one turn less from lock to lock. It's much quicker steering. You just don't need as much steering input. So that you get a double upgrade. You get power and you get quicker. With the EPAS, all you have, it doesn't affect the steering box or the rack, so you have the same amount of turns from lock to lock. It's just lighter. So why not get a 2-for-1? Get more bang for your buck, in my opinion. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with the EPAS. There's quite a bit of fabrication to make it actually go into a Mustang steering column.
I have no idea.
Messing around.
I'm so unfamiliar with everything you're talking about.
You basically got to cut a piece out of your steering column. You put this EPAS contraption in there, and has a motor off to the side of it, and it runs it. And it's good in certain applications, but not all of them.
I couldn't imagine a Mustang with a heavy enough front end to need that.
Oh, the V8, the early ones, the V8 manual steering ones, were a bit heavy parking. They're fine to drive, but they're a bit heavy on when you're parking.
Rusty Fuel says just use water to lubricate the water pump. Water is not a good lubricant.
No.
It'll lubricate at low speeds, but once you get to higher speeds, like the way a water pump operates, it's not a lubricant at all. That's why the antifreeze has that slippery aspect to it. That is lubricating the pump.
There you go. Terrator reached 100 subs today. That's
Congratulations.
Keep it up.
Congratulations.
Keep doing what you do. Tony, name one car to flip in 24.
What's a good car to flip?
An EV, like over?
Yes. Yeah.
Just actually flip it over?
I don't think you can flip them over. They weigh so much on the bottom. I don't think you can flip it.
I watched a drag race. The keeps coming up on my social media feed. There's these spectator drags, they call it, and it's an oval track, a little quarter-mile sprint track.
Yeah, I've that comes up on my feed too, but I haven't seen the video.
And there was a Tesla running like a Chevy, like some suburban-y looking thing. Like it was a bit of a hot rod by the sound of it. And the EV the Tesla just blew his doors off immediately, but it couldn't turn around the corner. It was understeering like a pig.
Sure.
Like all that weight, he couldn't get it to change direction, and this Chevy just like tipped it in, got the back out, and just drifted around the inside of him and over the finish line and gone.
I have to watch that.
Oh,
I have to watch that.
Man, I couldn't believe how much it understeered. Like he went smoking into the corner, and he's like, cranking the lock on, and it's just going straight ahead.
Or cost 60. Is Tony's new shop closer to Kiwi?
No, it's further away.
No, it's further away. But it's worth
away.
the trip. It's going to be worth the trip. Wait till you see how we're going to set up the back. No more doing videos like this.
No?
No. We're gonna have a posh studio-like setup.
Like with a mic on a boom and all that up over here.
I have those mics.
Oh, yeah?
I have all the stuff. I have mixing boards and mic. I have everything that we ran the podcast with.
Oh.
So we'll be setting it up. It'll be nice. It'll be comfortable. You'll be able to sit further away from me. I think that would be pretty cool.
So we won't be melting in the summertime?
No, we won't be melting in the summertime.
That'll be nice.
You know, freezing in the winter.
Orange room with the pimp couch version 2. What's that about?
What was that now?
Orange room with the pimp couch, Joe K.
Oh, I haven't used that in, almost 3 years now.
Dr. Art threw that EV go-kart around pretty good. Ozzy been playing on that, has he?
That thing rocks.
Really?
That thing rocks. I gotta see if Dr. Art wants to join us on New Year's.
Oh, there you go.
John Skyver, is the Tennessee area decent to relocate? I've heard things about less taxes and permits and building codes. You're from Kentucky. Well, see, I don't know about Kentucky. I don't know if it's any better than Kentucky or worse. So I couldn't give you that answer. If you come from a place like the Northeast, you know what I mean, or like the Northwest, right? Actually, the upper parts of the upper corners of the country are just fucked. Okay. Yeah, I'd say definitely move down here. I couldn't tell you about Kentucky though.
As far as permits and the building codes, it depends what part of Tennessee you're in.
What county you're in.
What county you're in.
Right.
Because where I am, there's codes for the codes, and you need to be compliant with the codes to read the codes. And
he's in Williamson County, and they're like Nazis over there.
It's shocking. They don't want hot rods there. I'll tell you that much. They don't want hot rod shops. They make everything very hard.
But he's in Williamson County, which is like Franklin. So it's very hoity-toity, very, like it's all like the music industry lawyers live.
Yeah,
right?
we use like porcelain plates and everything. Like we're up there. Yeah.
Oh, you're like a scum
cutlery, not plastic forks or anything. We use like steel ones. Like it's pretty cool.
So his shop is like dog the shop caps on a Lamborghini. You know what I mean? It's really what it is. They didn't want him there. It's like, leave, go, foreigner. So I'm in Rutherford County, which is the next one over, and it's not so bad here, but still kind of restrictive. If you go like out to oh God, just any of the counties really around us.
A little bit further out.
Yeah, you go a little bit further out, and it's like it's a free for all. You know what I mean? Like you go down to a place like McMinnville or Woodbury. Do what you want. Do what you want.
Dale Fountain, saw me today on Power Nation. I haven't done anything with them for a little while. But I've been on there a few times.
He's such a big shot. He's been on American Pickers. He's been on Power Nation.
Power Nation. Yeah.
I did a drag test on a Hemi Daytona.
I haven't written any magazine articles. I have had a front cover though. I have had my car on the front cover of
have I changed?
magazine. Have you? Oh my lord!
Have I changed?
Oh, your hair's about the same length. There's just a lot more of it.
That's 1988.
Yeah.
Can you guys see that? I haven't changed. 40 years I haven't changed.
Oh, overly built. That was a 400 small block and an S10 Blazer. That's what it was.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's talking about that video.
Against the Tesla, yeah. That Tesla got smoked, huh? He really did.
Have you seen my friend Pete's Santa Claus special? No, I have not yet. Overly built. Tony, will we see a turbo with the propane setup? No, but you will see nitrous. Definitely nitrous. It's something I haven't been working on the car or the engine, but physically, but I'm working on the whole thing mentally. And yeah, you're definitely going to see nitrous. And we're going to work with Andy Mays, who I don't know if you guys are familiar. He's a Mopar racer, very accomplished Mopar racer. He's got a shop not too far from here, and he's going to be working with me on that.
John Skyville, Kiwi, why are Cleveland parts so impossible to get a hold of nowadays? It's just a numbers game. There's just nowhere near as many Clevelands around. And, the aftermarket looks after the whatever's selling a lot of. So, if you want to make cylinder heads for a Windsor or a Cleveland, you're going to choose Windsors because a lot more people want them. It's really, they just don't sell enough parts. So they don't spend money on making parts for them, which makes them harder to get, and then they less popular, and it's just a snowball effect, like downhill, unfortunately. That's why. Wayne Ferguson fixed his own sender unit.
Nice.
Good Kiwi lad. Expensive in New Zealand, like $100 sender unit's going to be $350 in New Zealand. Rusty Fuel, he was joking about the water pump.
Okay, thank you for the super chat. Let's see.
Mexicans speak. How did you get approved, Kiwi, if they are so bad? Not sure what you mean there, Mexican. The Windsor is more petite. It will fit in smaller cars. That's correct, Billy Bob. For the same cubic inches, it's a lot smaller, a lot lighter. Just a better package, really.
Mitten Made Muscle says there's a spectator drag video of a Blazer immediately smashing into an SRT8 Jeep. Unbelievable, guy didn't get his teeth smacked.
Ooh.
I mean, you're putting your stuff out there. It's you're assuming the risk.
Yeah.
Schwieners and gears. What do you guys think about adapting some Gen 4 LS rods, 6.298, to a 331 cubic inch Gen 1 small block Chevy? Let's see, 3 1/4 inch stroke. I'm thinking this would make a great high RPM turbo engine. I don't know what the original rod length is on those. Schwieners, I can't give you an educated answer. I couldn't even guess at that, to be honest with you. All I know, all I can tell you is that turbos like load. They like internal load. It's very similar to nitromethane in that respect. So a longer rod will produce more load. So if you're talking about using a longer rod than stock, yes, it would be a better option for a turbo. So the turbo wants resistance. It wants resistance to gear. It wants resistance to converter. It wants resistance to weight. And it'll accept internal resistance through piston. So the longer rod gives you more resistance against the head of the piston, pushing against the crank. So yes, it would be beneficial with a turbo, assuming that's what you're talking about.
Tony Kiwi, in regards to head bolts, do stretch bolts basically apply to aluminum heads? In the 70s, I don't remember people buying new head bolts. What gives? My understanding with the torque to yield or the stretch bolts was it eliminates the need to retorque your head, which was a big boom for the manufacturers because that used to be part of your free first service was bring it back and they would retorque the head. years ago. And there was just a labour content that they had to give away. So the stretch bolts, completely eliminate that. And also the bonus that 2-for-1 deal for the manufacturers, because you've got to keep replacing them. So they sell a lot more head bolts than they ever used to.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win. They don't have to do as much, and they get to sell more.
Yes, yeah, the free vacation. He's already supposed to give away a couple of them. So but I think honestly, I think he's gonna he's gonna punk out. To be perfectly honest with you, that's these Kiwis. You can't trust them. So yeah, I see him punking out on the free
Well,
vacations.
I had to punk out on the elephants when you were offering free elephants with subscriptions to Kiwi.
Can you at least send them a pizza?
I sent them photos of elephants.
He'll send you a picture of an elephant. Territory. Tony, where were the boomer ranting rocket chair sitting in a new shop? I'm not sure yet. I got to figure out where the best place for that's gonna be.
Oh, okay. Mexican spec. Sorry. Really screwed it up. Still screwed it up. Now it's getting better. Where's he going? Mexican spec. You mean approval to open my hot rod shop? Yeah, that was about 13, maybe close to 14 years ago now, and that was a different time. It's a lot harder now. They just keep ramping it up. So yeah, they're just not making it any easier, and they don't like me painting there. We were painting cars. I'm not painting cars anymore because of the city. They just make it too hard. John Skyver, how did Kiwi end up in the USA? Where am I from? From Taranaki. I'm a Taranaki boy, raised in Taranaki, New Zealand, and then
he got into some legal trouble and had to.
As a 14-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, and he had
moved to Auckland when I was 14, and spent the rest of my time in New Zealand in Auckland. So and then off to Austin, Texas.
Is that a penitentiary?
No, that's Australia. All of Australia is a penitentiary.
I got you.
So that's my story. Got won the right to get a green card through the green card lottery that the states used to run till Trump shut it down, and the rest is history.
Jeremy O'Shea, why didn't Dodge make the newer Dart like back in the day? Who makes these styling changes? Communist aliens with confusing pronouns as who does all of the decision making over there these days. So I don't know.
Oh, did you read that one?
Overly
propane turbo.
Yeah, we're running a propane turbo setup on our AMC 304 rock crawler, makes between 600 and 700 horsepower depending on boost setting. Absolutely love the cheap octane, cooler temp, and safety of propane. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing around with it. It's going to be fun. But my head right now is occupied with the move and sorting through all of the trinkets and odds and ends around here, because this is chaos. It's truly chaos over here. So that's where my head is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
John Skyver. Do you like American muscles car better than Australian? I'd have to say yes. I do. Gosh, in my early, like as a 20-something, there was just that wasn't even a tiny bit of a question. Like Australian cars, I didn't rate back then, and they were certainly nowhere near as popular as they are now. It's gone crazy, mate. But now I would love to get my hands on an Australian muscle car now and bring it here. But honestly, the price of them, it's astronomical. What a true Aussie muscle car is going for. It's like it's too rich for my blood. Had Zero's advertising Kiwi's baby hippo giveaway when we get more baby hippos. As soon as those baby hippos come in, we'll run another competition. Yes. Damn aliens with their rotary engines and automatic transmissions.
Chris Kevin, okay, put the farty dog outside. It's raining now. She smells like a farty wet dog.
Oh, nice.
Bro, right now there are people getting eaten by alligators and volcanoes are taking out villages someplace in the world. You got it easy. Just don't worry about it.
Any updates on Steve McNulty? McNulty?
Yeah, actually, Kathy said that he commented on one of our videos yesterday, so I guess he's up around enough to watch videos and make comments. I haven't seen the comment, so I guess he's doing better. I guess he's doing better.
The Visit Andy Tony 318, that kind of died a death. Didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, people ask me about that every literally twice. I think it's the same person just trying to be a pain in the ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got those trolls. Yes, it went to crazy places that I have no interest in pursuing, so I let the whole thing go.
Chris Cadman, want a dog? You want a dog?
I have four.
4. Jeez, really?
Yes,
Oh,
I have four. I have two beagles, a mutt, and a border collie.
oh, there you go. There you go. What have we got? Hippos are good fathers too. Well, I would say they probably are with the amount of greenery they eat. Big Brigon. It's frustrating that Mopar or any company never made an exact replica production car, exact body stamping.
I have no idea what he means by that.
Well, he was talking about why they haven't remade the dart from the day.
Camels behaving badly, yes. Hippos communicate with their poop. I'm sure they do.
Oh, Lord.
Don't get any ideas, Kiwi. Don't get any
Betty
ideas.
Boyd, horses can rip some huge farts, yes.
Yes, they can.
Okay, certainly no subject is taboo on our show, is it? Like,
Zero saying, do you dogs? I like caravans more. Okay, this has really got to a weird place, which I'm perfectly comfortable with.
Mark Suave, am I saying that right, Suave? My wife and I have 7 Dachshunds and
Wow.
3 mini Aussies. Good grief.
Nice. Honestly, like the older I get, the more I just want to live in a dog world. I swear, I keep saying this to Kathy. Like, I just want to be surrounded by dogs. It's really all I want anymore out of life. I just want to be surrounded by dogs. And my granddaughters. Not necessarily Kiwi. I mean, I love doing these shows with him. He's a great friend, but I don't want to be surrounded by him. You know what I'm
Well, no, 7 of me would be a lot to deal with, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Just ask Mrs. Kiwi. I think she'd throw herself off the nearest bridge. Oh, Mark, cool. I got it right. Well done. Well done, me. Car benches. Sorry, didn't realise it came up so often about the 318. First time he's asked, it was the front project.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So if it's the first time you asked, what happened was we were going to do this thing. It was supposed to be with David and Andy. David was going to brainstorm this whole thing. Andy was going to do the fine work, and I was going to fill in the blanks and help wherever I could, right? And we were all going to get together at the end and dyno this thing and everything else. But somehow or another, some fella down in Florida got involved, like big. And the next thing I know, I've got David texting me to send parts to Florida, and I'm like, wait a minute, So it went off to some really weird places that I just don't, you know what I mean? So, and I was like, okay, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Sometimes you just gotta let things go. So that's what I did and just moved forward. But that's what happened with it.
Favorite Eisner era Chrysler?
Eisner. Who the hell's Eisner? Oh, Exner.
Exner.
Oh, the DeSotos. All of the DeSotos from that era were exceptional.
That's like late 50s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all those. Yeah, I really do. Because it'd be hard to pick a favourite one. Yeah, I don't think I could. There's too many to like. Do you think, Tony Kiwi, do you think I'll get more torque going up hills towing by converting my RV 2-barrel carb to a 4-barrel carb?
Depends on the carburetor. Okay, so if you're going primary bore size to primary bore size. Okay, so in other words, if you're using a square bore carburetor, a square bore 4-barrel carburetor, no, you're not going to see any improvement in torque, the 2-barrel to the 4-barrel. But if you go to spread bore carburetor, then yes, you definitely would see an increase in lower end torque and throttle response, let's say towing up a hill, because the smaller bore is giving you higher velocity. Velocity is the thing. So yeah, you would see a difference with a spread bore carburetor over a 2-barrel. Danny Boyd.
Oh, where'd you go?
What was that now?
Oh, shoot.
Oh. I don't know. I just
Hit blue? Okay. All right. Sorry, we missed a few questions there, guys. So hopefully they'll scroll around again. Exner should have gone over to Disney when he went off the rails.
He lost it, right? He lost it. Okay. Remember that question you read before? Exact body parts stamping of an example 68 Charger body with modern suspension. Okay, I gotcha. So it was like when they redid the Challenger and the Camaro and the Mustang. It's a shame that they couldn't use the exact body stampings. And I agree with you on that. Because if you ask me, those cars all lost something in the translation.
Yeah, but they would never do. I don't believe they would ever make an exact replica of a 68 Charger.
I don't think they could. I don't think you could fit all of the stuff that they've got in the newer cars into any of the older bodies.
Well, yeah, that would be an engineering challenge. Yeah.
Park a 68 Charger, that era Charger next to a modern era Charger, and the new cars are huge. And to put all of the shit that they've got to put in the newer cars, you couldn't fit it all into a smaller car, into a 60s style car. So yeah, I think you lose that right there.
Chris Freeman has got a good point. The cars wouldn't meet current crash standards. No, they wouldn't. Not even close. Oscar Gonzalez, I was 68 Cougar sitting for years in the garage. What lubricant do you recommend spraying through the spark plug holes? There's lots of different products for that.
WD, PB Blaster.
Yeah, I mean, if it's frozen, if it doesn't want to turn over, one of the best freeing agents you can use is ATF and acetone, like a 50-50 mix of ATF and acetone that's been tested and it's always shown to be the best for freeing frozen parts. So yeah, if it's seized up, pour some of that down there, and it's all pretty readily available. Acetone is a little bit harder to find, but it's like True Value Hardware or something like that will usually have acetone.
I think if you use naphtha.
Yeah, naphtha's not as aggressive as acetone.
Okay.
Naphtha, you could spill it on your polyurethane table and it just evaporate off. Acetone will melt it. You don't want to get acetone on your paint. Acetone is what they use for getting nail polish. What the women use for getting off their nail polish.
Me too. Sometimes I like to paint my nails.
Yeah, but it's like $15 for a little tiny bottle of acetone from them. Or
I know.
Or
you
like
go to Home Depot,
$9.95 from Ace Hardware, and it's like you get a quart. And it's like, Kiwi, put your fingers on a diet. What does that mean?
He means you got fat fingers, bro.
Oh.
You sent us into hyperspace once with that.
Yeah, I did.
John Bishop, please explain the suits when painting. I've always just used a mask with filters. Do you use a painting suit?
I haven't, but I haven't done a lot of painting for a long time. Barry, that used to work for me, who did my painting for me, he would wear suits sometimes, but one of the you should really wear the suits, and that's because the toxins in the modern paint are not very good for you, and it will you can absorb it through your skin, not just your lungs.
Epidermal poisoning.
Yeah.
But my experience with that stuff, all of these things is, if I tell you what, if you do it every single day, okay,
which
like
the collision shop guys are
right,
every day.
right. If you do this every day, you'd be absolutely insane to not wear a suit. If you just occasionally paint something, you know what I mean? That yeah, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You have to worry about it when you're repeatedly exposed to it.
Yeah.
Always exposed to it.
A friend of mine who's quite a well-known painter, he does training courses, and he's linked in with the armed forces. I think it's the army. I think it is, and he's had to set up to train some of those guys, and like the hoops he's had to go through for that, which they not really hoops because the army pay for it, but they have full fresh air suits with a helmet, like a almost like a diving helmet type helmet that go over, and it has air pumped into the suit, so you don't. There's just no
Well, that's
way.
what Bonnie
So
Man Run has that whole setup.
yeah, you have a positive pressure inside the suit, and you just get nothing in, and that's an OSHA thing. Like OSHA, like if you're painting full time, that's what the
Right.
painters are supposed to have, like a positive pressure suit, and so it never gets to you.
Yeah. But again, see, that's if you do it every day. You're always exposed to this shit. That will kill you. But if you paint 1 or 2 cars a year, that sort of thing, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. This question keeps coming up. Shoehorn Jackson, Tony, would you consider unshrouding the intake valves on a street or hot rod engine overkill? No. Unshrouding a valve is never overkill.
No.
It's always a good thing to do. A shrouded valve, or the area where a valve becomes shrouded, is a place for fuel to fall out of atomization. So if you're already giving up the velocity with a larger size valve, why would you handicap yourself by giving it a choke point and a place where fuel can fall out of atomization? So yes, it's always a good idea to unshroud whatever valve you have.
Yeah, the L454s were bad for valve shrouded.
Yeah.
And that's why they never really. The 454.
Well, the original version.
The original version,
yeah.
They struggled with that valve shrouding, and it took them a while to figure out why they just didn't perform like they figured they would. Yeah.
Riley, Riley, 221, a 3-piece double-breasted suit from Goodwill works great for painting, and you look good doing it. I love that idea, bro. I really do. The next car I paint, I think I'm going to do that.
Chris Freeman, I bet the paints they use for military equipment are way more nasty than the civilian stuff. I doubt it. I don't know. I don't necessarily think they would be, but a lot of what these guys that he's training are painting regular vehicles, not just the army camo green on a Hummer, but all their big suburban stuff that they use to drive around, and their I guess you'd call them daily drivers. That's the stuff that's here in the States that the generals are driving and all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of regular cars in the armed forces, and that's what they get trained to paint.
The Imaginator says he grew up with a guy that huffed gold Krylon paint and he lived to be 25. That's not surprising. I mean, I'm sure you can make it to like the late 20s. It just depends on the volume of your huffing. Cordell B, I wish Kiwi could have experienced America as a kid.
Cindy Crawford.
I never liked Cindy Crawford. I totally never got the Cindy Crawford thing. I totally never understood that.
You'd have just turned and walked away if she'd kind of
hit
on you.
If I walked past her in a supermarket, I wouldn't even give her a glance. I never understood the Cindy Crawford thing.
It would have been fun to grow up here, I have to say, in that era. Yeah,
This was a fantastic place to grow up. It's not anymore. But yeah, it was great. I wouldn't trade a minute of it. Let's see. Raining Slant 6 for the China. Tony, if had oversized valves with very little space between margins and hardened inserts would leave the inserts very thin where the exhaust seats meet anyway, wouldn't indication of heart. I don't. I'm sorry. Can you make that out?
If I had oversized valves with very little space between margins
Right.
and hardened inserts, would leave inserts very thin where the intake and exhaust seats meet. Anyway, wouldn't induction hardening seats of
Yes,
CI?
induction hardening would definitely be better than inserts. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, especially when you get the thinner inserts.
Yes,
And especially when you get
want
the
to come loose.
odd. So like if you've got the valves crushing against each other and the inserts are like touching like that, that's a place where expansion will push one out. Right? Yeah, that's not a good thing. Always better to harden them than to do that.
ECOS 60, NASA got a pass and went back to leaded solder for satellite PCBs. Unleaded solder failed in space. Huh, that's interesting. See, they've got lead-free lead now for doing bodywork on cars. It's like Eastwood have it, lead-free lead.
Right, for your head. There you go. That's 21st century America.
Okay. Chris Cadman, Cindy Crawford or Kiwi in a thong.
Oh well, now we really have to start thinking about that, don't we?
Yeah, Cindy Crawford may just take it away.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
her.
I think she won that. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I know. In my mind, she's about as appealing as a jar of pickles.
Yeah.
Gluten-free lead. Yes, that is the America we live in today. Gluten-free lead.
Yeah.
Gluten-free, lead-free lead.
With no peanuts used in the making.
No
manufacturing
peanuts.
of
Right.
it. Did you ever have kids in your school? You went to school, right?
Yeah,
kind of.
as little as I could. Yeah.
Did anyone have peanut allergies?
No, nobody had shit like that. And if you did, it was like nature taking
natural
out
selection. They
natural selection.
What happened to Johnny? I haven't seen Johnny for a while. Oh, he
Right.
died. He's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Bishop. I have to tell you, when I was a kid, my mum always knew what colour Dad was painting because I had the colour on my nose. Yeah, I would watch Dad paint. Of course, this was in the 70s with lacquer paint. I miss lacquer paint. Lacquer paint was awesome. That was so easy to paint.
Yeah, see, I'm not a
So
painter,
easy
so
to
I
paint.
never.
It's like you just read. You've got a completely open window for recoating. Yeah, the lacquer paint was great. It had its drawbacks, I know, but it was that's what I grew up with, so that's what I remember. Chris Cadman, so Kiwi then.
No.
Cindy Crawford is to models what lean burn is to Chrysler.
I never got the Cindy. I totally never understood that.
ECOS, the 2024 calendar, the men of UTG.
Oh God, no.
You're going to be even numbers or odd numbers?
Say it again now.
If you're going to do the calendar, you're going to be even numbers or odd numbers, like January or February. Like
I'll be the
you've got to
odd
make a
number.
start. You be the odd number.
Yeah, I'll be the odd
right.
number.
Yeah. And I'll be Santa Claus. I got the grey hair for it. So you can't do Santa Claus because it's like.
Well, I especially can't do Santa Claus anymore.
No.
I've lost my jolliness.
Yes. I think you gave it to me.
The Duke 5A. What do you use to paint frames? Got a rusty F-150 I'm cleaning up, looking at POR 15. Kiwi, that's right up your alley, bro.
What do you use to paint frames? Got a rusty F-150 I'm cleaning
up. I read that already. Didn't you hear me read it?
I wasn't. I was reading
I
was reading one of the other questions.
Ignored on my own
POR
freaking
15.
channel.
Yes. POR 15 is.
I feel like I'm home.
Is perfect for that. Just get it reasonably clean. Don't try and get it. POR 15 doesn't really like bare metal. So like if there's surface rust on it, just get the dirt off it. It doesn't need to be like ground back to shiny metal because POR 15 actually likes to react with the rust, and that's what makes it work. So yeah, just make it sure it's clean and you're good to go. It's the best stuff. For 700 R4 starts having issues later on, then it'll be time to upgrade and get rebuilt. I have a ported 350 with the Turbo 400. And within the year after ported heads and intake. Cool. Sounds good.
Mike N is saying just don't put Dr. Art in the calendar. It would have to be a fold out if Dr. Art was in it because he's like literally like almost 11 feet tall.
John Skyver, that's just too vivid an image, mate. Kiwi bent over a Mustang with a thong hanging out for summer.
Please.
No. Chris Cadman, my picture is on the way. He's born in May. Okay. We make a calendar with some of the regulars. That'd be awful.
Well, all of the mods would have to be in
there.
Yeah.
Just don't put Dr. Art in the calendar.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It would have to be a fold out because like he's huge. I have to, when I talk to him, I got to look like this. I feel like a 5-year-old kid.
John Frey, please don't interrupt our hot babes conversation with your dumb tech questions. Oh, goodness.
What's your birthday in May? Vilify, Tony, have you ever used electrolysis to convert rust on a restoration? It seemed to work to stay. We actually did a video on I guess about 2 years ago. We set up an electrolysis tank out here just to show how it worked, but I don't remember the title of the video. Chris Cabin, the 27th. Oh, I'm the 15th.
Kiwi on a baby hippo. Oh, good Lord. The boys' imaginations are running wild tonight.
Oh, jeez. Zerial. Hey, Tony. I got fuel squirting out of the outlet fitting after I replaced a mechanical fuel pump. I think it's not sealing at the flare fitting. Just before you replace the hard line.
Okay, so he's got a hard line with a flare. Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming you unscrewed it all the way, cleaned the seat, then screwed it back in because you may just have a little piece of something stuck in the seat there. I don't know.
Yeah, take it apart and just see if you can find anything in it and try putting it back together. But just be careful not to cross-thread those things. They're fairly easy to.
Yeah, it's a good possibility. You might have cross-threaded it, especially if you're using a brass fitting. Right, that's very common. If you use a brass fitting. They cross-thread so easily. You don't even realize as you're turning. It's just, well, there's a little resistance here, and the next thing you know, it's all cocked and cross-threaded and whatnot. So,
Kiwi on a bearskin rug. Kevin's Russ, poor 15. He's a bit negative about poor 15. Fades the minute it hits, the sun hits it, unless you buy their overpriced top coat. Waste of money. I don't know that it's a waste of money, but you don't have to use their top coat. You can put like anything over it, but no, there's no UV stabilizer in it, which any top coat. I mean, regular primer, doesn't like the sun either. So yeah, they need a paint with UV protectors in it, like sunblock for paint. So yeah.
Shadow Ops Airman 1. Corrosion types: galvanic pitting, intergranular exfoliation, fretting, filiform/filiform. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's way too many syllables for me. I don't know about you.
It was hard to read that.
Intergranular exfoliation, I've heard of. Fretting, galvanic. Yeah. Interesting.
You keep doing that.
I keep doing that.
Okay.
Kiwi, you should do a buyer's guide video for Yankees who are just discovering Manuka honey.
We're just discovering what?
Manuka honey.
What's Manuka honey?
It's a type of honey that made from the Manuka tree in New Zealand, and it's one, it's delicious honey, and two, it's very, very good for you.
It doesn't come from bees?
Yeah. Well, okay, yes, it comes from bees, but they feed off the Manuka tree.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's expensive. But it's good shit. And it's great if you've got a cold or something like that, Manuka honey. It's great for all sorts of things. They put it on wounds. If you've got a wound, if you hurt yourself or something, you actually put Manuka honey on it. It actually helps heal. It's wild stuff.
Can you stick the wound together with it?
No.
Oh.
No. You just make a sticky mess. What was this? Something ought to be. I once traded a 71 Dart 340 that the client paid around 70K for. The car was rail transported from New York to Ontario, and across to Alberta. Wow.
Well, now you know why that car will be worth so much? The 71 Dart 340. Anybody want to guess why a 71 Dart 340 would be worth 70 grand?
Okay.
Do you know why?
I have no idea.
Well, let's see if anybody else gets it. Come on. Why is a 71 Dart 340 worth like 70 grand?
Oh, Zero's plugging my channel again. Good man, Zero. Thank you.
Zero's the best.
Yeah.
Well, he's one of the best. We have Dart 340s are rare. No. Because somebody will pay that for it? No. Numbers matching? No.
70G of Coke in the trunk.
Movie car? No. Ree
Convertible?
Riley, because they
No.
didn't make a 340 in 71. You're close. Because somebody was willing to pay. No. Only had a 340 was on a Dart without smog stuff on it? No. Last year of the 340? No.
They had a swivel radio? No.
I'm going to show you why I make the big bucks.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell us all about it. Right, listen.
The
drum roll.
reason that an 1871 340 Dart would be so expensive is because they only made 50 of them.
Oh, really?
Yes. And they were all sent to a dealer in Canada. Okay, so 1970 was the only year for the Dart 340. Well, the last year for the Dart 340. 71, if you wanted a 340, it had to be in the Demon body.
Huh.
Okay, so there was a dealership in Canada that had put in orders for 71 Dart 340s before Chrysler canceled that. I mean, it was just a Demon 340.
Right.
Well, Chrysler fulfilled that order with 50 cars.
Huh.
And so they're actually all legitimately 1971 340 Dart swingers.
Huh. So were they any different for obviously the limited run, but like with the Canadian spec darts different to the American spec?
No, they're the same.
Okay. Yeah. Raining slant 6. Only till the killer bees smell the honey on your wound, and then you'd better beat feet because killer bees are relentless. Yeah. Oh dear.
Stevie B says his grandma had one.
Huh.
The Duke of Fiber. We need more trivia. I'm going to do more trivia on a channel. I like doing those things.
At Zero, I'll take things only I know for $300, please.
SD, the same car dealer also got some for 72. From what I understand, there was all the same 71 order, those 50 cars, and then they just did the grill change.
The same car dealer also got some for 72.
Hey, trivia night on Sunday with the mods, like a game show. Yeah, that'll be fun. I know we're gonna have fun. So, if you guys don't know, this Sunday night, New Year's Eve, we're gonna be getting together with live stream with the mods and with Kiwi. I'm gonna ask Dr. Art if he wants to jump in there too. So we're gonna all get together on StreamYard, and we're gonna have our New Year's get together. So come and join us. I know it's gonna be fun. I know it's gonna be fun. But like I said, guys, we got Zero. Fubar. I haven't seen Ari, the Mexican.
Yeah, Ari's here. I saw him before.
Okay, so yeah, it's going to look at the Brady Bunch. I'll be Marsha.
In a thong.
So, are you guys good? Do you want to go on a little bit later than usual? You want to start at like 9 o'clock Central Time, like my time? Is that good with you guys? Mexican Spec doesn't want to be Alice. Why? Alice was the glue that held the Brady Bunch together. Okay, it would have been chaos. It would have been bloodshed without Alice. Okay. Zero saying it's good with him. Oh, if it's good with Zero, it's good. It's good with me. Dolphywood Squares. All right. So
it's 10 p.m. Eastern.
So 10 p.m. Eastern, but it's New Year's Eve, right? So tentatively, we're going to get together at 9 o'clock Sunday night for this big live. What is it? It'll be a UTG New Year's Eve party.
Right.
You gonna be drinking?
Hell yeah.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be tripping balls. That's what I'm gonna.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be what?
I'm just. Nah, I'm not. I'm not.
Man, we're running out of time. Look at that. We've got 3 minutes to go.
3 minutes.
Well,
Maybe in your country.
Well, 8:53.
1 hour
1:49.
49.
Okay, 11 minutes.
We have 10 minutes.
We were a bit late
yeah.
starting. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Tony was, like, so we were a bit late getting started. I wonder if they would have had kilometres per hour speedometers in those 71s. Would they? Canadian market?
What was that now?
Where did he say? Car Ventures. I wonder if they would have had kilometres an hour speedometer
yes, they would have.
71s. Oh, yeah.
They would have. Yeah. Okay. So you asked if they were different than export.
Yeah.
Yes, that would have been different.
Yeah, I just wonder because I know some cars had different names and stuff like that
Right.
in the Canadian market, like same body to look at, but like they made Mercury trucks for the Canadian market. Like
Yeah.
some of the the Ford F100s would Mercury something in the truck bodies, stuff like that. They did a few odd things for the Canadians.
But as far as
they were making fun of the Canadians, the good people.
As far as the 72 goes, right? The only one of those that I've seen had the 72 grill, right? It had all of the 72 stuff on it, but it had a sweep speedometer, which is a 71 thing on a Dart. So
It's 0 kilos. Sorry, we don't measure distance in bags of drugs.
freedom units only for us. That's right. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong about that. 76. I think Canadian speeders went metric in 76.
Ah, there you go.
Now, wait a minute, because I know about it.
So they stumped you on a question.
No, but wait a second. Now I know.
So what are you giving away?
I know of an export Hemi Cuda that was in. You know what? That didn't go to Canada. Okay, yeah, I'm wrong about that. There was an export 71 Hemi Cuda convertible that went for like ridiculous money,
right?
And it had the metric speedometer.
Okay.
But then it didn't go to Canada. Now, I don't remember where it went to. Maybe it did go to Canada. Maybe one of you guys know. The 171 Hemi Cuda convertible that went for like bizarre money, like $4 million or something like that a few years ago. That had a metric speedometer in it.
Now, Garth Harris, Mark IV Zodiac. What do you think, Kiwi? I'm not a huge fan of the Mark IV, to be honest. They were the V6 in them wasn't a happening thing. They're very boxy. They'd be a cool car to see again because I haven't seen one for so long. But yeah, they weren't one of English Ford's big success stories. The Mark III was really a better car. But again, that's opinion too. Like it's what you like. Territory. Where did I see that? Oh, someone asked about the car in California. Someone asked about the car that I was looking at in San Diego. Yeah, I bought it, and Steve, the guy that works for me, and me and him are going to fly over there and try and get it going and try and drive it back just for the adventure of it all, just for shits and giggles, really. Make some YouTube video footage for it, of it, and hopefully we'll have a few laughs and a few misadventures, and kind of get back in one piece is the plan. Some people are saying we're crazy.
You got bigger balls than I do.
Actually, quite a few people are saying we're
crazy.
You
got bigger balls than I do.
But, and it's all right because we're doing it in the middle of the winter, so what's the drama?
This is true.
It's only going to be snowing and stuff, so, they had pretty good traction, didn't they? Those old station wagons with their 750 14 tyres.
Yeah, but if you're coming across 10.
Right. That won't be so cold.
No, because you're coming through. Yeah, you're coming through desert and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you'd be fine.
And it's a station wagon, so we can sleep in the back.
John Holman, Japan was always metric. That's why we bombed them, man. John Skyver, happy holidays to you too, brother, man.
Josh Horman, Japan was always metric. That's why Tony doesn't like metric.
Stray bullet. Tony should go help Kiwi bring his car home. Not,
Oh, I
not
made him the
even,
offer.
not even a prayer. Not a chance.
He's
My
not
boy
scared.
is on his own.
He's not scared of the drive back. He's scared of the flight out.
Well, not only don't I don't fly, but I don't make road trips with guys. I don't sit in a car for any extended period of time with guys. Half hour, an hour, okay.
Cindy Crawford.
We'll
maybe,
deal with that. No,
but-
not even Cindy Crawford. No, no. Although I would, yeah, okay. So I would road trip with her, but I would be like, don't look at me, okay?
in a Plymouth station wagon, I mean, it's a perfect recipe, isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like to sit in cars with guys. That's just the way. It's just me. Always been that way.
Yeah, Kiwi needs help though. Well, I need help on many levels. Many levels. Possibly the decision to try and drive back from San Diego was one of them. But you know,
I'll be rooting for him.
yeah. I think we're going to do a little video at the airport and farewell, and you know,
Yeah, I'll see you off.
come back alive.
I'll wave a napkin at you or something. Yeah.
Tony, what's your opinion on 85th Ave? Got rid of the lean burn already.
Yeah, that's a cool, comfortable car. They make for good drivers. It's okay. Laugh a lot. A quick run to the store is okay. Yeah. You know, it's no big deal, right? You get in a car, run around a block a couple times, go to the store, whatever. But I don't want to be breathing in the air that comes out of another guy. You know, it's like that's how bad I am with this stuff.
Sitting in a car with guys is like two guys on a Harley.
Yes, exactly. I could never. I remember like when Roadkill was a thing, and I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it because they were sitting too close to each other for too long, and I'm like, there's something with you guys. Come on, Kiwi. There's something with you guys. You're sitting too close to each other for too long. There's just no way.
Dodgy, shady. Only two nuts on a bike. There you go.
I tell you how bad it was. Back when I was on the road a lot with the drag racing, I would never ride with the crew. I would always just take my own car and meet them. You know what I mean? Just no, because I won't sleep in motels either. That's the other thing too. I skeeve motels, so I'd always meet them. I don't want to ride with them in the truck, so I'll always drive my own car, and then they'll sleep in a motel, and I'll sleep in the car, and I just go into the motel real quick to shower and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, I'm really weird when it comes. I've a lot of really crazy idiosyncrasies when it comes to that stuff.
It costs 60. You don't have to sit close or hold hands. Just do a live the whole trip.
No, I'm good.
He won't get in the plane.
Homophobia? No, bro, I'm not homophobic at all. Actually, I have had over the course of my life many gay friends. I've had a couple of trans friends. That doesn't even faze me the slightest bit. I just don't want to be near them. You know, like in other words, like don't touch me. You know what I mean? Don't touch me and don't put me in an enclosed place where I got to smell you. You know what I mean? Like, but beyond that, we're great. So I don't call homophobic. I'm homoparanoid.
Oh my goodness. Raining slant 6 with a chance of cannonball. Kiwi should strap some huge speakers on the roof of the car and suspend himself by bungee cords and play his electric guitar while Ari drives through the Arizona desert with it floored. Okay. Imaginative, isn't it? Yeah. Tavo, pay my airfare and I'll come along for the drive back. Mate, if I had the spare cash, I'd do it. I would.
Yeah, I'm the same way with dogs too. You know, I love all dogs. Doesn't
Right.
matter male, female. Doesn't matter the breed. I love all dogs. I just love dogs. Okay, but I won't have a male dog in my house. Right? I don't want like a dog dick all over my furniture and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If I'm petting a dog, and you know they roll over there with their belly rubbed. I don't want any dog dick involved in that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's
Mexican
thing.
spec. I'll be so close to Mexico, but so far away too. Yeah, yeah. You can always come north of the border, and meet up.
Tony's been canceled. I'm on my way. I'll be canceled eventually.
What if two guys in the car, but you're driving the station wagon, and one guy's in the third row seat?
No, I don't
No?
want to smell other guys. I don't. You don't understand.
Too much wiener around. It's a penis phobia. Yeah, you started something, Tony.
Buckham Garage. Any plans for the channel tech episodes? Lots of them. Possibly events in the spring. I enjoyed the gas build. Yeah. Well, the plan. See, we've been building since we started this channel. We've been building a lot of projects, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to use the cars that we have, and get out there and do stuff with them. So, like when we're finished with the Belvedere, that's the last car we're building. Right. Once we do that, now it's just going to be taking the cars that we already have. I've got 5 cars back at the house, and there's never even been on this freaking channel. So we're going to focus on the cars that we've already got and refining them. And yes, I definitely want to get out to some more events and do more things this year without a guy in the car.
That's why he doesn't want to build a car with me. You see, he doesn't want to be that close at quarters.
I was like that, I've always been like even when I'm working with other guys, working on a car and stuff. I'm just like, you work on that part of the car. I'll work over here on this part of the car.
There's a lot. We're very limp-wristed there, doing it. You work on that side of the car.
But would you ride the Oscar Mayer Wiener car? Yeah, in a heartbeat, man. I'd love to cruise that thing around.
Uncle Tony will get cancelled for telling the truth about EVs. Well, yeah, that might happen too.
Rainy 6. Are you going to have Dave Hakem back on again soon? I'd love to. He doesn't return I think I pissed him off. Dave, did I piss you off? But look, we're over 2 hours now.
We are.
We're way over the 2 hour mark.
Quickly to mention about your flaming EV car in New Zealand in the Coromandel.
Yeah.
A friend of my wife's is a volunteer fire brigade person.
Okay.
And the official word now is that they believe it started at the back of the garage, not where the car was, not where the charging station was, and the car wasn't plugged in anyway. That's the official word now, from an inside source in the fire department. But yeah, if you watch that video, it's so shady. I mean, we all know Tony's a bit of a conspiracy theory, but that was a conspiracy.
Well, see, now they got ink on that now, because the video that we did got a lot of traction. It's got 120,000 or so views. The M guy, Australia guy,
that must have helped him out quite a bit too.
Yeah, so like now it's like, okay, these people are being called out on it, so now they're changing the stories around.
Yeah.
But obviously, what happened is what happened.
But anyway, I just thought I thought an inside source might shed some new light, but not really. But the neighbour, Tavo, as you say, the neighbour's video says otherwise. Yeah. But no, they're still kind of defending it, the fire brigade. So, well, they're not going to turn around and go, "Oh yeah, we did fib, sorry." They're just going to throw smoke at it and make it hazy, and it'll go away.
All right, Kiwi, look what time it is.
It is 2 hours and 3 minutes and 20 seconds. But who's counting?
We need to stop this immediately, if not sooner, Kiwi.
Yes.
What do you have to plug?
What do I have to plug? Well, come over and take a look at my channel when you get a minute. If you get a minute, Kiwi Classics and Customs.
Is it really worth going over there to look at?
Oh, I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if he says so.
Well,
I haven't seen it.
We debunk all the theories of UTG when we're over there. Like, don't listen to him.
We should go to war with each other. Every time I do a video, you should do a video.
A counter
saying why I'm such a dick. We're just going to plug to my merch. Yep. I have merch.
I can't plug my merch because I don't have any yet, but I'm going to get it. I swear.
He doesn't love you guys enough to have merch.
And if this Plymouth Suburban wagon from 1959 that hasn't been tagged since 1979, if that makes it all the way back to Tennessee, we might make a celebration T-shirt for that. 2,000 miles or bust. So yeah, there you go. That might be my first piece of merchandise. Big Plymouth Suburban wagon on a t-shirt.
I like that. I like that.
So you can do
Yeah,
it.
you guys find somebody to build a Hemi for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder where you're going to find somebody qualified to build a Hemi.
I don't know. What do you guys think about a 394 Hemi in a 59
392 Kiwi.
392 Hemi.
He doesn't even know.
See, that's why they pay him the big bucks, because I don't know shit. Yeah, I've got to stop drinking.
That's me flogging a Hemi. Look, see, I haven't changed. That was almost 40 years ago.
Oh, so you're just supervising and he's working?
No. That got me in mid-reach.
Mid-reach?
Yeah.
Not a reach around?
I was wearing a Bud hat. Look at that.
Oh, Bud Light.
Yeah.
Did you drink back then?
No, that wasn't Bud Light. That was regular Bud.
Oh, Bud. Well,
It's a
Bud.
picture from 1988. We're Hemi Daytona.
Hats with the stuffed kiwi on top.
All right. So,
Danny Boyd, old Hemi. Yes, an old 392 Hemi.
yes.
Like
A
out of
first
a
generation Hemi.
58 Imperial,
I don't
believe.
think we know anybody who's able to do that. Kiwi thongs and merch. You should put up thongs. That's just with Kiwi with an exclamation mark on it. You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
I'm telling you,
Well,
bro.
Kiwi was here.
Yeah,
Get
do
me into
that.
trouble.
Do that. All right. All right. So, guys, everybody contributed Super Chat. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. It pays for this shit. You'd be surprised. Every little bit counts.
Yep.
Everybody contributed. Just your presence and your conversation. We appreciate you equally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's always a fun evening, so thanks, guys.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
You didn't seem like you were having fun.
I was,
You
I
seem
was,
like you're a
I
little
was
moody,
laughing at you
actually.
like normal.
All right.
Yeah.
So this Sunday night is New Year's Eve. We're going to go on later than usual. We're going to start at 9 o'clock Central Time, so figure out whatever time that is. So all of our mods, right, Ari, Fubar, Zero, and Mexican Spec, and Kiwi, and I'm going to ask Dr. R if he wants to jump in there too. So we're going to have our UTG New Year's Eve
It's going to be a
party.
full screen, isn't it?
It'll be everybody.
Lots of little
It'll be
squares.
everybody.
Like
Yes.
the Brady Bunch, yeah, exactly.
Right,
like
I'm
the Brady
going to be mush. And I think that's it, right?
Are you buying fireworks?
We're buying fireworks. No. I have fireworks. I have some fireworks here. Where are
There
they?
you go.
All right. But anyway, that's it. Let's pull the plug on this now. I'm going to make it stop. Can it be Sam the Butcher? Sam the Butcher had a lot to him. All right. I don't even want to go into that now. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I'm going to hit that button.
See you
and
later,
the
guys.
second button. And good night, all.